Welcome back, folks. If you've just joined us, you are watching Cape Rugby TV. It is now time for the Score Spot the Team competition. And if you look to the screen right now, you need to spot the team. What is the name of this team? There's a couple of familiar faces there. And if you guess the correct team, you can win for yourself a case of Score energy drinks. So make sure you spot the team and you can win for yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Folks, I'm now joined in the hot seats by Mr. Club Rugby himself, Mr. Renzel Botman. Renzel, welcome to Cape Rugby TV, of course. How are things going, buddy?
Hey Mogs, thanks for having me back. Yeah, it's always nice talk about club rugby, and yeah, it's all systems go now. 1st of March coming this weekend. I think sure it's going to be a jam-packed rugby weekend of rugby this coming weekend.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It is a jam-packed weekend of club rugby coming up. So if you're looking for something to do, there is lots happening in the Western Cape in terms of club rugby. Speaking of being jam-packed, I'm also joined in the hot seat this time by Gareth Jordan, who is the head coach of Union Milnerton. Gareth, welcome to Cape Rugby TV, buddy.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit. Of course, you've recently been appointed, well, not recently, but you're now the head coach of Unil, taking over from Ish Dolly, that was at the helm for in excess of 10 years. What has it been like? You must have your hands full. That must have been quite tough.
Yeah, it's been busy, but it's been good busy, really exciting times for the club. Obviously a lot of player movement, as Llewellyn from Brackenfell alluded to, which is always difficult to manage, but I think we've had some good quality come in. Look, our club as a community club, it's exciting. We've implemented and created a new youth section, which has got already in excess of 130 players. We've introduced a women's team that's training on a Monday and a Wednesday, and there's also in excess of, I think, 30 to 40 players who are involved there, and then we're getting some really, really good numbers to training in excess of 100 every Tuesday and Thursday night. So, yeah, really exciting times, trying to focus on the whole club and not just the flagship team. And yeah, as Llewellyn also alluded to, trying to bring the community back into the club and see how we go from there. Eh?
Yeah, transition's always tough in club rugby, and Gareth taking over from Ish Dolly there, of course, has his hands full, but numbers are good, so that's, of course, one of the most important elements. Folks, speaking of women's rugby, which Union Milnerton has now started, we managed to receive a clip from Bulbul ladies, and let's see what they've been up to down in Bulbul. There you have it, the Bulbul ladies putting in the work as pre-season approaches and while the league starts to approach. Gareth, talk us, you've spoken a little bit about the fact that you now have brought in a ladies team at Unimil. What is the importance of that in terms of the holistic approach of the club?
No, I think it's important to create opportunities for everyone in your community. I mean, we've seen how much the women's game has grown internationally. I was blown away over the last 2 seasons how the South African women's team has improved remarkably, and I just think it's really good for all Super League A or actually any of the club rugby teams to provide opportunities for women in their community to compete and, who knows, see where they can get to with their rugby. Eh?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think we're going to see more and more women's teams pop up, and I think it can only grow the game for the better. So if there are any clubs out there that don't have a women's team yet, let's start to get the ladies down. Even if it's touch rugby, let's just get the ladies down playing some form of rugby and see where it goes. Sky is, of course, the limit. Folks, we're going to take a quick look at the fixtures coming up this weekend. There's a whole host of them, and we're going to chat to Renzel about them in just a couple of minutes. But there's the Bulbul Rugby Football Club, of course, match day. It's Bulbul up against Hamadias. The first game is at the under-20s. And the last game, the first team kicks off at 6:30. That's at Rosina Parvata Stadium. Of course, that should be a humdinger. There's some more fixtures coming up this weekend. It is the Postage Greenpoint, and it's the SK Warmers up against the Ike Tigers, of course. The Ike is still involved in the Varsity Cup, so that should be probably their NPS, or the players not eligible for Varsity Cup will be playing for the Ike Tigers. That's against SK Warmers. Paul Dalport and his squad there up against the Ike Tigers should be another really good game if you're looking for a place to watch some club rugby this weekend. Some more fixtures taking place this weekend at False Bay. It's False Bay versus Helderberg. That should be a great game to watch at the Philip Herbstein Stadium, of course. That is down in Constantia. That should be a very good game. Two very good sides there, both Super League A and vying for top spot. The last one that we have that was sent in to us, it's a friendly match, of course, at Solari's Pass Sports Ground. That is Solari's Pass taking up Solarians, I presume. I can't quite see who they're up against, but the gate fee there is 20 Rand. The under 13s pay 10 Rand, and it's 20 Rand a car. The first team kicks off at 4 o'clock. And before that, of course, is the thirds and the seconds. The thirds kicking off at 25 minutes to 2. So it's Lekker Abadi Navy is what that poster says. So plenty of exciting rugby taking place, of course. Of course, there's also, I must remind you, there's the Yanda Toy Rugby Day taking place down at Kraaifontein. Our chairman has said to me, I must make sure that I say it's Yanda Toy and not Jan de Toy. Thinks my English would let me down there. So, Umrenir, the Yanda Toy Rugby Day. It kicks off on Friday already with the under 20s. And on the A field, it'll be Goodwood under 20s will take on Hamilton's. Then Durban will take on NTK. That should be a nice under 20 fixture to look forward to. And then Kraaifontein take on Van der Stel Evergreens. On the Saturday, on the A field, of course, we've spoken to Shannon about it a little bit earlier, but Goodwood, they go up against Wellington. That should be a humdinger. Then Durban take on NTK. And the final fixture of the evening, which kicks off at 7 o'clock, it's Kraaifontein first team up against Van der Stel Evergreens at 7 o'clock. So make sure you get down there over the weekend at some point down to the Yanda Toy Rugby Day. It should be very, very exciting, ending it off with a great fixture between Kraaifontein and Van der Stel. Renzel, you got some more potential fixtures taking place this weekend that we haven't mentioned?
Yeah, Moogs. Like I said, it's going to be a humdinger of a weekend. I know Unil is playing Frans Hoek this weekend. If I know, we're playing, or Hamiltons are playing Brackenfell. We've got, I think this is probably going to be the biggest one of the weekend. That's Tigerberg against Kuilsriver. So that's going to be the big draw card for all the spectators that weekend coming. Yeah, there's quite a few. NTK, we said it, Durban, we've got Calmore versus Peniel Villages, also a big derby there, so that's bragging rights for the year on that side, just past Stellenbosch. Then we've got Hansen Arts versus Busy Bees. We got Bauer versus Delisa, so it's going to be a humdinger of a weekend. That's still a lot. Unfortunately, we don't have time now to mention all of them, but I think just looking at the teams now, getting into full force, getting that contact now. For now, the coaches now obviously look at combinations. Most of them probably their first weekend out only. So now combinations, finding the right player for the right team. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man.
It is going to be very, very exciting. I'm listening to Renzel read off all the fixtures. It feels as though we're full swing into the season already, and we're still just a month away. Gareth, talk us about your preparations. How are you looking? I mean, are you happy with what your squad makeup looks like, Super League A? And are we hoping to be contenders again this year?
Yeah, look, we're always hoping to be contenders. I think, as you know, with Super League A, most teams try to get to those playoff spots and then take it from there. So that's obviously goal number one. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the way the preparations have gone at the moment. There's been quite a lot of change with Ish stepping into a director role and Bobby coming in to look after the forwards. It's quite an exciting time, and not too many changes, but some really exciting changes that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, I suspect Unimil, of course, will always be right up there when it comes to competing in Super League A. So exciting rugby coming up throughout this weekend, folks. Renzel, passing words from you before we let you go. You mentioned all the fixtures, but anything else happening that we can talk about?
Yeah, look, Moogs, we just, past weekend we went on a camp, which was very nice. I think the guys that went understand what the goal is at the club, at Hamilton's. what's the vision for the club. So we've got a new thing called back to back. So we're working on that vision now. So hopefully coming this weekend against Brackenfell, first hit out against, we got our hit out against Boland, but now against a club side this weekend. So hopefully we get our W. It's going to be 4 teams. So our under-20s are playing against Falls Bay, if I'm correct. And then we've got our third, seconds, and first sides running out against Brackenfell at Brackenfell this weekend.
Yeah, big things happening down at Hamilton's. I can confirm they've also got the 150th year celebration this year. So plenty happening down there. There's a gala dinner taking place I know about. They're also launching, I think it's called Hamilton Cares or something along those lines. It's sort of a give-back project that I know is being run there by Adib. So Hamilton's really going above and beyond in terms of what's happening in club rugby and celebrating their 150th year. Then Gareth, again then to you, all the very best for what's to come for the rest of the pre-season and then of course into the league. It's exciting times for you guys.
Yeah, it is exciting times. We've got matches lined up for every Saturday in March, so 5 matches, and then we start off Marty's first game, I think on about the 12th, then Helderberg, and then Van der Stel. So yeah, lots to look forward to. Don't want to get too far ahead, but yeah, exciting times indeed.
Club Rugby is alive and kicking, folks. Thank you so much to Gareth and to Renzel for joining me in this last bit of the show. It is buckle up and get ready, because I think this weekend is where it all really starts in earnest in terms of as we make our way down to, I think it's the 12th of March when the first games kick off across the different leagues. Thank you so much for joining us again this evening, folks. We'll be back again, same time, same place next week. And I'm sure JP will be back to sit in the hot seat and drive you through what is going to be a jam-packed show of results from fixtures that have taken place over this past weekend. That's all from me. You have yourselves a fantastic rugby weekend, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Goodbye, everybody.